Hello there, Bic Benedict. This is one of the videos that will allow me to do my proper introduction. So this is Bic Benedict. We're playing God of War, Ghost of Sparta, and we are doing the Challenges of the Gods. And this is the Ares subset, and it is Challenge of the Gods 2 of 5, and it is entitled The Gauntlet. So I apologize if that was a little crude, but what we have here are Triton Lords. And you can tell that they're lords because they won't let you block their attacks. Now, what we're rending out of the air here is an enemy entitled the Harpy Widow. And get used to enemies attacking you off screen, because it really is something that you'll find to be rather common. So, okay. So I want to let you know this. Do you see my health? Do you see my magic? I've gone through hard difficulty and didn't upgrade a single thing because I had planned to go through the game on God difficulty and do a pain run or a pain plus run, and be able to use the one of the relics that you find throughout the game to have the quick time events completed for me. So I wanted to live and bask in luxury, and I still may do it. But for all of these 5 Ares trials, I'm going to have my nothing upgraded, no health and magic upgraded, and none of my weapons upgraded in the slightest. Now that will change in the 5th trial, because I couldn't get the gear enemies to fall down quickly enough while I was losing a bunch of health from a very small amount of health. And I did upgrade Thera's, I think it's just called Thera's Flame. Hyperion Charge here is wonderful too. You get iframes as well, and you can interrupt. But you don't get iframes completely on the charge, but there's some iframes going on with it, and I really like it. I think maybe not iframes, but the ability to interrupt is really nice. And so this is really hard if you have the amount of health and magic I have with level 1 weapons all around. It isn't undoable, but it's kind of hard, and there really is only one part that's difficult. But so anyway, so yeah, you can't block the Triton's attacks. However, you can parry them. Well, I shouldn't say parry, because we lack the ability to parry. You can, I guess you would say, perfect guard. I know I'm stealing a word from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, but although wasn't that perfect block or something? I'm not sure. But you can pretty much just set up a sort of a parry sort of a block where you don't block, but you block at the last second, and you kind of shove the enemies in front of you away from you in a really cool animation. Okay, so this is where it really starts to pick up and get difficult. Not immediately, unless you start seeing the brutes here, these Minotaur brutes. They've got these huge sort of sledgehammers, and what you want to do, because it's something you don't face in the game at all. The carries wraiths will never go into the ground unless you either use a heavy attack on them, a combo on them, or one of the Minotaur brutes swings his cudgel around trying to hit you, or trying to do whatever he wants to do, because he's a baller with that sledgehammer. But if it makes contact with the carries wraiths, they go underground, and it's going to affect you. So with this, the idea is you don't want to really move around too much with the carries wraiths, although you kind of have to with the Minotaurs, just in the respect that you need to put distance in between you and the Minotaurs. And the reason for that is you want to instigate one of them to charge at you. And what I would do here is, if you see the carries wraiths jumping up at the ground, since you can't block their attack, you need to perfect block it. So that means that you don't do that, you don't fail it. Fortunately, this is on easy or normal difficulty, I'm not sure. Try to do, hopefully this will work. Yeah, try to do that. It saves you. So what I would do, if you have Minotaurs near you, sear them. with the square hold attack, and then just continually have them ram you. But just be careful here. You want to use the Scourge of Irenias for some health. And of course, if you have very strong weapons here, they're going underground. Yeah, that's one of the big problems, because you face a lot of weird things with, like, you face a Cyclops, Cyclops, like a Berserker Cyclops with gold plating. I think he's just an armored Cyclops. I have the whole bestiary on my phone again, but I have no clue what my fucking phone is. So, is it here? Yeah, there it is. But it's just a really difficult room to get through, and as you can see, I think oh, they're called Cyclops Tyrants, the ones that we're going to see in a second. Yeah, it's just rather unfortunate that if the Cyclops Brute, or yeah, the Minotaur Brutes here, or are they Minotaur Grunts? Let me see. Nope, they're called Minotaur Brutes. I was right. But you really do want to see. You don't want to do excessive rolling when you have Carries Wraiths in the environment. And should you need a tutorial for how to deal with the Carries Wraiths, I have a very extensive tutorial on my original guide for this title. Not on my No Upgrade Run Plus, mind you, but the other guide. And then you always want to finish these guys off with the quick time event of tapping circle to get some health, and it's really good to do that because you can do that 3 times, there being 3 of these guys. So what I would do is sear him. Now, how do you sear? You sear by doing combos, you sear by square holds, and you sear by triangle holds, provided that the triangle hold makes contact. You can't just do it anywhere. And of course, there isn't anything in this zone here that you can't block, but you have to move around a little bit because, like I've been saying, you need to move around so that distance is in between you and these guys so that they can do that, and that's a good damage dealing move. It doesn't look like it does much, but you do 3 or 4 of those, and you really only have to sear them a couple of times and do some light combos on them. The Carries Wraith is one of the most interesting enemies in this game, and it's a very challenging enemy, but a very simple one when you learn how to deal with it and you learn what not to do with it. And that one's out of range, completely out of range. I could have thrown some arrows over to her, but I think that I was just way too stressed out over here. Now, I don't know definitively if you can use the Thera's Flame with your weapon and only do square hits if the Carries Wraiths don't get affected. I don't think they do, honestly. But just watch out for doing combos and any sort of heavy attack. And the reason you have to move around so much on the Carries Wraiths, see, he knocked them over, and now I'm getting punished for it. Is because on the Carries Wraiths, you don't want to be moving around too much because they always have these little, like sort of a, I don't know what you would call that, but it's an AoE on the ground that stuns you and hits you. And that is one of the double-edged swords for this part, because while you don't want to be moving around too much to avoid those AoEs, you do need to move at some point to put distance in between you and the Minotaur Brutes. Okay, this one, yeah, we fucking missed her again, which is really terrific. And I don't think I ever, oh yeah. Did I see a box over here? Yeah, there should be a box over here. So I'm gonna pick up health because I think I'm at death's door almost. Okay, I'm using Thera's Flame now. I'm trying to test this and see if, trying to see what happens. Yeah. Now, I don't think that was very good evidence, guys, because I don't know what exactly I did to her. I could have done a square hold or something like that, which is technically a combo and something they don't like, so I'm not sure. But anyway, so the challenges of the gods are broken up into two categories. You've got challenges 1 through 5 that are the Ares trials, and then you've got challenges 6 through 13 that are the Athena trials. So I'm going to have two separate playlists for each of the subsets of trials. So for instance, if you're watching this, these are the Ares trials, and if you need the Athena trials, all you need to do is look in the description and go to the very bottom of my my video description heading, and go past all the text, and it's one of the last things I typed there was a link to the other playlist, and it works in an inverse way. So if you were on the Athena trials and needed to get to the Ares playlist, there's going to be the Ares playlist URL at the bottom of the Athena write-ups. So I'm trying to cater to everybody. I'm trying to stretch out the gold carpet for everybody, and I'm trying to give people as much luxury and comfort as I can on my fucking channel. And I am trying to make everything easy for folks and intuitive, because, well, let's talk about this dog shit, because we've got satyrs over here, and one of the things that they love to do is to slide under you and trip you and deal massive damage to you if this were on hard or god, but I think it's on easy. So what you want to do is just grab them and then perpetually throw them, and then after about 4 throws, 4 throws and 4 bouncing sessions, you'll be able to finally grab them. And you can also do the Hyperion charge. And then if you're wondering how to throw those guys like that, square and triangle are punches, and O will release the body from you, and Kratos will throw it across the screen at an enemy that I think you can aim at, but I don't know if it's predetermined. And of course, you've got a nice little QuickTime event here to do, which I really like. I like integrating a QuickTime into those. Okay, so what you see here is the normal thing that these guys do of sliding under me, and then of course we've got 2 Cyclops truants over here just doing their stomping shit. And once he's out of the picture, sorry guys, that guy was right in the way of my my killing right there. Okay, so at this point you're going to need to use the Theris Flame with your blades to take off their armor. It's a requirement, so you have to use it. And at this point my flame was only at level 1. In video 5 it'll be at level 3, but that's only because I almost half suspected that the trial wouldn't really be possible unless I had my weapons strengthened. Because one of the problems is, and even if I didn't have my weapons strengthened, it's just the fact that I never upgraded my health, and it's one of those situations where just by existing in this trial, you take damage. You take a good chunk of damage. I'm not sure, it's some conceit where you're poisoned or something like that. So really good techniques here. I can't emphasize the sear enough. Square hold, it's probably the easiest one to do for you guys. Just square hold. It sets a little charge in his, well, in this case, in his stomach or chest area, and then after a few seconds it detonates and he falls over and gets stunned. Well, this one doesn't fall over, but I think he grabs his eyes. Let's see what happens here. That wasn't representative of it enough. Haha! Aren't I just so good? See, that's why I want to have the QuickTime events done for me. You do the QuickTime events. You do them. Stupid computer shit. And I'm also thinking, once again, guys, of bringing you guys God of War 1 on a no upgrade run plus. I was just informed earlier by my buddy Taz11, one of the masters of God of War, along with Shinobi here, that the God of War vet community only counts up to the I think I'm going to run over the time limit here, guys. I really apologize about that, but what he was saying is that since the clones are pretty much impossible, as long as you do your no upgrade run plus up to and then past Ares Part 1, the run, they consider it complete, and then you can have the recognition on the God of War vet list that's on GameSpot that has everybody's achievements, including mine. Yes, I am a God of War veteran. Amongst a lot of other people, you have to do specialty runs. If you've done specialty runs, I can give you the URL and we can get you on. Is it GameFAQs? I think it's GameFAQs or GameSpot. It's probably GameSpot. But yeah, so now I'm reconsidering it in view of what Taz told me, because just getting to the clones, knowing that I don't have to do the clones, and that it would be like considered complete, even though to me personally that would be a hard thing for the pride and the ego, because I would want to do the whole game, but I'm gonna have to make a decision pretty soon, because I've already started my guide and I just don't know what I'm doing with it. But anyway, guys, we've gone through the gauntlets and we've killed all of our enemies before they killed us. Take care.